Hello. I'm trying to get this situated here. Hi guys. I was walking yesterday and I was talking about forgiving. One of the ladies on the live said that she was having a hard time forgiving, and I was saying that she happened to have been a survivor, and she happened to have been shot in the face by her attacker and her abuser, and she happened to have lost her mother. Her abuser actually also killed her mother. Blessing Elder Portia. Let me know you're watching. And so, hi, nice to meet you, Tess's daughter. Yeah, me and Tess go back a long way. So we were talking about it, and I was on the track. So I was giving some examples of reasons why people have a hard time forgiving. I wrote about 15 of them in my very first book, Deliverance to a Fresh Spirit. And I was explaining to her that, you know, it takes sometimes work and you know, learning the skills to forgive, and that we don't forgive for ourselves. Hi, Rod. Say hi to me. But we don't forgive for the other person, but we forgive for ourselves. And a lot of times it's hard. And so I started naming some of the reasons why we don't forgive. I only named about 3 yesterday. I was on the track, and I promised that I'd come back and give you guys the rest of them. And I know that it's late, so for those who may catch it tomorrow, just know that I want you guys to work through this unforgiveness thing, because it only hurts you. I was, for 2 years, I call it held hostage to unforgiveness. Hi, of my ex-husband and the abuse. But then I realized that it was only hurting me. And like I said, it's kind of giving yourself the poison and expecting the other person to die. So, all right, really quickly, because it's late and I'm going to get ready to go to bed. But here's some reasons that people don't forgive. Well, for number one, like I said yesterday, the person hurt you. The hurt is just so greatly, and that's what I was explaining to the beautiful young lady yesterday, who was on the live, who got her face shut off, Carolyn. Hi, James. That was something great. That was not a little white lie that you're trying to not forgive. That was not a little hurt. He tried to kill her and almost did. And then in the midst of it, he killed her mom. So I can understand it being very hard to forgive that. So that's one of the reasons, one of the 15 reasons that people have a hard time forgiving, is because it was too great of a hurt, too great of an attack, too great of a pain. Number 2 is when people hurt us intentionally. You know, it's like, okay, they had to know that was going to hurt me. Why would they do that? That's something that they did on purpose, to break me down or to hurt me or to treat me bad, or, you know, so I'm not going to forgive them, because that was just something that they did on purpose. Please say hi. Come into the room and say hi. Y'all don't want me to act like my grandmother used to act. I tell this story every time I'm on live. You know, she'd be like, who is that coming in the house? They don't say nothing to you. They're rude. All your friends are rude. So I know I don't have rude Facebook friends. So please tell me hi. Tell me that you're watching. How was your day today? Do you have anybody that you have not forgiven? And if you have forgiving them, how did you do it? Bless somebody else with your story. You can talk back to me. If you need to forgive somebody, tell me why you're having a hard time forgiving them. If I mention one of these 15 reasons out of my first book, Deliverance to a Fresh Spirit, then a 12-step guide to ending toxic relationships and overcoming their effects, because the effects of a toxic relationship is that sometimes we have unforgiveness, and that only hurts you. So chat back with me. So the person did it intentionally. That's one of the other reasons. So number 3, the person won't admit that they're wrong or that they have hurt you. They won't admit that they're wrong or they have hurt you. And you know, that's how I was. I was like, okay, can you just at least say you were wrong and, you know, not act like it was okay. And so I tell people, look, you know it was wrong. You don't have to have their validation that it was wrong, that they did something to hurt you. If they did something to hurt you, they did something to hurt you. And you know they did something to hurt you. You don't have to have them to say that it was wrong for you to move on and get over it. If it was wrong and they did something to hurt you, they did something to hurt you. But a lot of times we hold on to unforgiveness because we want the person to, you know, say that they were wrong. Okay? The other is the person shows no remorse. They don't act sorry. They don't act like it hurt, that they're hurt by them hurting you or betraying you or violating you or whatever they may have done to you that you can't forgive them. So they act like they're okay. It's no big deal. Didn't hurt them. You know, no remorse. So I'm not going to forgive them because they show no remorse. But again, who does that hurt? It only hurts you. So number 5. You've been hurt in the same way by the same person numerous times. So I get it. You know, this person, he keeps or she keeps doing the same thing. She keeps cheating on me. I'm not going to keep forgiving her or him, or he keeps cheating on me, or he's lied to me over and over again, or he's hurt me, whatever. This person has hurt you in the same way over and over again. These are 15 reasons why it's hard to forgive. So tell me hi. Let me know that you're watching. And so it's hard to forgive somebody if you've done it over and over and over again and they keep doing the same thing over and over again to hurt you. So, you know, you want to say to yourself at some point, well, you know, I'm not going to forgive this person, and, you know, but that's not what you do. You forgive them, but at some point you say to yourself, I'm not going to keep going back to this. I'm not going to keep accepting this. I'm not going to keep doing this. So the other reason, number 6, is you are still angry about the situation. You know, there's just like there's 5 stages to grief. And so when we are hurting, you know, with grief, whether it's a loss of a relationship, loss of a loved one, loss of a life, loss of a marriage, it ends in divorce. Hey, Rod. Whether it's any of that, there's a loss. And so with a loss, we go through the 5 stages of loss, 5 stages of grief. It doesn't have to be that person has died. They could have, left your life for some reason, abandoned you. They could have been somebody that have, like I said, a marriage dissolved, a relationship dissolved. And so we go through, first of all, the disbelief, the denial. We just can't believe it. And then we go through the anger of it. See, anger is a secondary emotion. So when we get angry, I'm gonna give you guys a little Conteology and a little counseling, a little free information here. So it's a secondary emotion. So when we're angry, first we were hurt, and or we were embarrassed, or we were, something else before you actually became angry. So it's a secondary emotion. So the reason why sometimes it's hard to forgive, because you're still angry about the situation. you haven't gotten past the situation. And so you haven't gotten past the situation because you're still going through the stages of grief, which could be unbelief, disbelief, then it's anger, then it's a bargaining, and they can come in any of these orders. A bargaining, like if Lord, if you let me get over this, I'll never do it again, or if only this had happened, I would I could have been better, or we go through this bargaining thing. And so I am trying to plug my phone up because it's about to go out. My charge is about to go out. So, at any rate, we go through this bargaining thing. And so it's hard to forgive. Number 6 it says because you're still angry about the situation. So you haven't worked through all of the stages to forgive that person. You still in disbelief, or you still angry about it, or you're still trying to bargain. Well, come on, if you do this, if you work this, if this happened, I won't do it again, blah, 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 blah. And then you actually finally start coming to the acceptance of it, and then you start working through maintaining that feeling of that you're going to be okay and that you can move past this thing, and then you can forgive. So if you're still angry about a situation, that's one of the reasons why people don't forgive. All right, so then also number 7 is forgiving minimizes the offense. A lot of times we think in our mind, if I forgive, that means that it's okay, that I've minimized it, that it shouldn't have, that it was okay that it happened, or it wasn't as bad as I think it was. No, that's not what it means. It's still bad. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that it wasn't a bad thing or a tragic thing or a tumultuous thing that happened. It just means that you're not going to allow it to continue to control you, because you're going to forgive and move forward. Doesn't mean that person didn't do something horrific or horrible. But a lot of times in our minds, we think that if I forgive, it's, that's going to wipe the slate clean, or that's going to say that person didn't do something horrible, or that, it wasn't as bad as it was. No, it does not mean that. Then also, the 8th reason why we have a hard time forgiving is forgiving means that we have to make amends and be friends. I have had so many people in counseling tell me that I'm not going to forgive them because I'm not trying to be their friend anymore. I don't want to go back to that situation anymore. And you don't have to. You don't have to be their friend. I'm trying to still plug my thing up so I can not lose y'all. But you don't have to be their friend. Nobody's asking you to be their friend again. And forgiving doesn't mean, like I said, that it's okay and that you have to go back and be their friend. It just means, I'm going to plug this up, excuse me. It just means that you've decided not to allow this unforgiveness to control your life. And so that's what it means. It doesn't mean that now it's okay and you're going to be friends with them forever. So that's another reason why people don't forgive, because they think that means I've got to now make amends with this person and be their friend again. I'm going to forgive you, but I'm going to handle you with a long handled spoon. I'm not going to allow you to continue to do those same hurtful things to me. I don't have to be rude. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to be friends. I don't even have to talk to you, really. But if I choose to, I've already decided that you don't know how to be a friend, or you don't know how to be truthful or honest. So I'm going to forgive you because that's what I need to do. God says 7 times 70. 7 times 7. So that's a lot of times. So I'm just going to go ahead and forgive because that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's the best thing for me. You've got to do what's best for you. Tell me hi if you're watching. And then also, number 9 is not forgiving is, in some people's mind, a form of punishment. So it's like, well, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm just going to hold on to this and not forgive you, and I'm going to punish you because I'm not going to talk to you and I'm not forgiving you. But who are you really punishing again? Yourself. Why go through all that? Just forgive and move on. You don't have to punish them. It's God's vengeance is mine, said the Lord. You don't have to punish them. Trust me, if they did something wrong to you, they're going to get what's coming to them. They're going to get their own punishment without you having to punish them yourself. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is work on forgiveness. Now, these are just the reasons why people don't forgive. And I will be glad to work with you on the skills to help you forgive. I will do that. You can inbox me or call the office at 713-588-4418 and set up an appointment, and I'll be glad to work with you on working through the forgiveness. But I just want you to understand why sometimes it's hard to forgive. There's many reasons, and these are just 15 that I wrote in my book. And so, also I do virtual sessions, $1 a minute. I don't want you to be tore up from the floor up on the inside, but have it all together on the outside. Women, we got to, we do the hair. We have the hair all done. We have the nails all done. We have the makeup all done, although mine's not tonight. It's about all gone from the whole day. But we got that down. But then you tore up from the floor up on the inside. And even men, there are some really, some hurting men out there. And there's some people that you haven't forgiven. There's some women that's hurt you. I've counseled couples, and the man is just really, really hurt by some things that the woman did. So it's not all just the woman. So, whoever it is, there's many people, men, female and male, who hold on to unforgiveness. But again, it only hurts you. It only keeps you from being everything God has called for you to be. So it's time for you to clear that thing out. Do what you need to do to heal you. I always say self-discovery is the best recovery. So the more you discover about yourself, the better you're going to become. So admit it. The truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. I always tell people that the truth is the truth, whether you admit it or not. So the longer you resist the truth, the longer you're going to hold on to the pain. So acknowledge that, I'm still hurt, and I'm still angry, and actually I have some resentment, and I may have not forgiven somebody, whether it was my mom or my dad or my ex-husband or my ex-wife or my ex-girlfriend or my siblings or whomever hurt me, the neighbor, the church. Many people are even mad at the church. So at any rate, you want to forgive. Again, these are the 15 reasons why people do not forgive. If you are watching, let me know by saying hi. If you need to forgive, say, I need to forgive. You don't have to say who. The first thing to healing is acknowledging. This book on deliverance to a fresh spirit is to help you to be delivered to a fresh spirit, because there's so many things rip our spirits away, tear our spirits down, cause us to have, a dark spirit. So in order to be delivered to a fresh spirit, there's some steps. And these are 12 steps to help you, particularly if the thing that's caused your spirit to be low or dark or down is a relationship. Hi, sweetheart. Thanks for the thumbs up. If it's a relationship, then you've got, if it's a toxic relationship, you've got to learn to not keep carrying that baggage. But the first thing that helps you to do that is to acknowledge. The very first chapter in this book is to acknowledge. So if there is something that's keeping you from forgiving, see, it says here, acknowledge. I don't know if you can see that. If there's something or someone that has happened, something that's happened and that's caused you to not forgive somebody, then be honest about it and say, look, you know what? So you don't have to say who it is. So just if you're watching now and if you're watching later, again, this is a free counseling for you. Free tip, free help. We can go deeper individually, but I try to. I'm committing to try to come on every day to be a blessing in some kind of way to help. So the other reason why we don't forgive, the 10th reason, is that we don't understand how someone could do such a horrible thing to someone they love. We say, well, I was supposed to be his daughter, or I was supposed to be I was his wife. I was the person he loved. So how could he do this to me? Or I was the person that helped her through all of her stuff. How could she do this to me? So when we don't understand how somebody can do something so horrible, such a horrible thing to us, and they're supposed to love us, that's another reason that caused us to be able to not forgive. So, many times we look at stuff and we go, you know what? This doesn't make sense. I'm not going to forgive you, and you've done this to me so many different times. That was so horrible, and you're supposed to love me. But again, who is it really hurting? Who is it holding back? That person has gone on with their lives. And although sometimes it doesn't feel like it's keeping you back, you would be surprised at how unforgiveness holds you back. Resentment holds you back. Unresolved anger holds you back. So you want to work through those things. So the next thing, let me know if you're watching. Say hi. Hi. Anyway, so the other reason is that, number 11, we feel like we deserve an apology. This is a big one. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many people, including myself, held on to unforgiveness because we didn't get an apology. Like I said, for 2 years with my ex-husband, I was waiting on him to say, I'm sorry, I abused you. Yes, I beat you. I did this. I did that. I stomped you in the stomach. Yes, we lost our child. I mean, I name it, but he was very vague. He would say, oh, I'm sorry, everything didn't work out. No, it's not that it didn't work out, dude. It didn't work out because this, and this. And so for a couple of years, I was holding on to that, wanting to hear exactly some, this and that and some certain words. But what difference does it make? What difference does it really make if that person says to you they're sorry or not? I know you think that it's needed, but it's not needed for healing. Your healing is predicated on what you decide you're going to do. And that means you decide, I'm going to move past this, whether they tell me they're sorry or not, because I have a life, I have a mission, I have a dream, I have plans, God has a purpose for me, and I want to clean out everything inside of me that could be holding me back or bogging me down from being all that God has for me to be. So don't let somebody not telling you they're sorry be the reason why you hold on to so much unforgiveness. Also, the last one, well, not the last one, the 12th one is we feel the offense was inexcusable. It's like Carolyn, he shot her in the face. He killed her mom. That's inexcusable. At the Legacy Award, we honor women and men who've survived domestic violence. Portia Daniels is one. You guys have seen me talk about Portia. You've seen her on my Facebook page and me on her page. She's like a daughter to me now. Stabbed 24 times, I believe it was. About 22, 23, 24. I get it mixed up. Either way, it's way too many. Several surgeries. Could not walk. Killed the new guy friend that she was just with at that time. And that was an offense that somebody could truly feel is inexcusable. It doesn't deserve an apology. But again, the apology is not for the other person. Yes, is it valid for you to be angry? Yes. Is it a valid reason for you to feel like this is an inexcusable offense? Yes. But it does not warrant being able to move past it and forgive so that you can be all that God wants you to be. Number 13, we're good to the person who hurt us. And so it's like, I was good to you. How could you? I'm not going to forgive you. I was good to you. I cooked for you, or I gave you everything you needed, or I was honest, or I was faithful, or I, gave you money, or I, everything. And so we don't understand sometimes how somebody can hurt us when we're good to them. It's like, okay, I can see it, but the person that's dogging you or the man that's dogging you, oh, but you're good to them. But me, I'm good to you, and you want to do this to me? Doesn't matter. Still does not negate the fact that you forgive for who? For you. Again, Dr. Conte speaks.com to help you work through some of these things. Inbox me. These are just reasons why we don't forgive, but it doesn't change the fact that you still need to forgive. And sometimes it takes some help. We sometimes as a people are afraid to get the help. Let me know that you're watching. Say hi. If you haven't forgiven somebody, just say I haven't forgiven somebody. You don't have to say who it is or I need to forgive. And if you've forgiven, say, yeah, I was there, but I forgave, and this is, I made it through, because you want to encourage somebody else. But there's many reasons why we don't forgive. And again, they're valid reasons, but it doesn't do anything but hold us back. And so the 14th one is we don't trust the person enough. Like, I don't trust you anymore. I can't forgive you, or I can't, because as soon as I try to forgive you, you're going to hurt me again because you did it before. You get the popping that neck and snapping that finger. I'm not going to do it. I don't trust you, blah, 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 blah. Has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. You need to forgive again for you. You don't got to trust them ever again. You don't have to trust them to do the right thing. You don't have to trust them to not hurt you again. You just have to forgive because, hi, Veronica. Thanks for speaking. Coming in and not being rude. Like some of the folks just come in and be looking and listening. They don't try to say, hey, bye, anything. Anyway, so I'm tired. You can tell I'm sleepy. But I promise I will give these 15 reasons why people don't forgive. And then just because you don't feel like you're not going to be able to trust that person again doesn't mean you can't forgive them. And the last one is we want to forgive, but in our hearts and in our spirits, we just can't forget it. It's like, I can't forget that, so I don't want to forgive. Let me tell you, when you start to forgive, there's a healing process that happens after forgiving. Nobody's asking you to forget it. It's not asking you to say it didn't happen. But let me tell you what happens when you do forgive. Like, for instance, when I first started sharing my testimony about the abuse that I went through with my ex-husband, I could rattle it off. It was so in depth. I would cry because I could remember it as if it was yesterday. And I could feel it. Every time I talk about it, I could feel the hurt. But as I forgave, and as I began to heal and do the work, you say, I'll forgive, but I won't forget. Yeah, you really do. Did I forget that he abused me? No, I can never forget that. But do I remember every detail? No, I don't. Thanks for the thumbs up. I don't, because God will remove and heal even the memory of the hurt. God will remove and heal the memory of the hurt. Because before, I remembered every detail, the smell, the sounds that were happening, the different things that happened during the hurt. But as I began to work through it and heal, yes, you do forgive and you do forget. Do you forget that the thing happened? No. But do you forget the details? Do you forget? I can't remember some stuff because God has even healed the memory of the hurt. So I'm praying for you. If you haven't forgiven someone, good night, doctor. Good night to you, Rod. I'm getting ready to go to bed too. So I'm praying for you if you haven't forgiven someone, because God wants you to forgive. He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to be healed. And you can't do that holding on to unforgiveness. So those are the 15 reasons why people do not forgive. And it doesn't mean that your reasons, they're good reasons, but it doesn't mean that it should stop you from forgiving. So if you are having a problem with that, inbox me and go to www.drcontespeaks.com. See how sleepy and tired I am? Or freshspirit.org and get your fresh spirit back. Or you can order the book, Deliverance to a Fresh Spirit, off of my website. It talks about forgiving, but it also talks about overcoming all kinds of toxic relationships, whether it's physical, sexual, verbal, emotionally abuse. And it doesn't have to be with a love interest. It could be with your, forgiving your mom or forgiving your dad or a friend or the church, whomever. But you want to learn how to acknowledge the things that happened to you and forgive those who did it. All right. All right. God bless you guys. Don't forget Dr. Conte's show every Thursday on Amazing 102.5 FM, and you can listen right here on Facebook Live on my page and on the Amazing 102.5 FM page. And don't forget, for those Atlanta and Houston, I see Paula that you checked in. I don't know if you're still on. Please come to the premiere of the movie Blink. Anything can happen in the blink of an eye, and everything that if you've ever wondered if your neighbor was having the best life of their lives after this movie, you'll think, okay, God, maybe their life is not that great. It's called Blink, and it's a wonderful movie. I am the spokesperson for it, the domestic violence expert spokesperson, because it's about domestic violence. And so everything that you think is green on the other side, when we always think the grass is greener on the other side, it may not be. So, but this is an excellent movie. Come out and support it. Singles, couples, everybody needs to see this movie. All right, it's going to air. It's going to premiere on the 2nd of March in Houston and the 3rd of March in Atlanta. And it's going to play from the 2nd all the way through the 8th for that week at select AMC theaters. So I hope to see you guys out, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. Talk to y'all later, Gators. Be blessed. Inbox me and work through that forgiveness issue if you have one. Talk to y'all soon.